Watch the Boston Marathon on CBSBoston.com.
Now at noon, disturbing charges against an elementary school teacher. Leaders in 2 cities are trying to calm fears.
It is a tribute to a fallen hero, remembering Officer Shawn Collier 1 year after his death.
And cranes now on the scene of a deadly boat accident. The warrants and questions investigators now have about the accident.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at Noon starts right now.
An elementary teacher in Cambridge facing child porn charges, and now there are fears in the community where he also spent many years as a teacher as well. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kate Merrill.
And I'm David Wade. Leaders in Somerville, including the mayor and superintendent of schools, are answering questions about the accusations. WBZ's Jim Smith is live in Somerville now with the very latest on this. Jim?
Good afternoon, David. This teacher was working in Cambridge at the time of his arrest, but he did spend several years working as an educator here in Somerville, and now Somerville is urging parents to contact them if they have any concerns that their children may have been victims.
We are angry, and we are heartbroken.
Shock now being felt in 2 communities after the arrest of 5th grade teacher Josh Wyrie, accused of exchanging hundreds of illicit photos and videos of children. Wyrie is a teacher at the Graham and Park School in Cambridge, but there's deep concern in Somerville because he taught at several schools there.
These sickening allegations are the most egregious betrayal of trust imaginable. That the exploitation of children involved an individual entrusted with the care of our children make these allegations all the more disturbing.
According to a federal affidavit, he admitted to using an international website to locate images of child porn. He's also accused of secretly using a camera cell phone to videotape children changing, allegedly even setting up and hiding a video camera in a locker room to do the same.
We all feel justifiably and rightfully angry, confused, dismayed, betrayed, and shocked by this event.
Authorities raided Wyrie's Somerville apartment, which is located above a daycare center. Police say they found computers, video cameras, photos, and thumb drives. They say he admitted it was for his sexual gratification. Even his brother is stunned.
We're all really sad about what happened. He's our brother, and we stand by him as our brother, but obviously what happened is disgusting.
Right now, investigators aren't saying if any of these offenses actually took place inside the school, but the investigation continues, and there are grave concerns here in Somerville. One City Hall insider telling me this could get ugly. Live at Somerville Police Headquarters, Jim Smith, WBZ News. Kate and David, back to you.
All right, Jim, thank you. This just in, a powerful earthquake has hit Mexico.
Let's get right to our Danielle Niles now. She has details on this. Danielle?
David and Kate, initially thought to be a 7.5 earthquake. The USGS has actually downgraded it to a 7.2. It was felt in Mexico City itself. You'll notice it's on the west side of Mexico. Acapulco, where a lot of Mexicans are actually celebrating Easter as well, felt it. The depth, 15 miles, and that was just over an hour and a half ago, Central Time. No immediate reports of injuries, so we'll keep you posted on any reports of damage there as well. In the meantime, our weather here at home, it's Friday. We've made it to the end of the week. It's cloudy, it's gray, it's cool out there. A lot of low clouds have filled in off the ocean. Temperatures are only running in the 40s, so well below where we should be for this time of the year. 41 in Boston right now, only 37 in Worcester. Now, through the remainder of the afternoon, we stay cloudy and gray. Temperatures may rise by a couple of degrees, but that will pretty much do it. The wind comes from the ocean, and then overnight tonight, we may get a stray sprinkle that will last into very early tomorrow morning as temperatures drop back about 35 to 40 degrees. But notice even by 8 a.m., the sky's clear, and it's shaping up to be a beautiful holiday weekend. In fact, we'll be around 60 degrees tomorrow, mostly sunny, 55 on Sunday. And with the wind that's going to turn in off the water, the coastline will be cooler, so probably right around 50 degrees at the shore. Good luck to the runners on Marathon Monday, 65 away from the coastline, but it will be cooler at the finish line. We'll talk much more about the weekend forecast and, of course, Marathon Monday, you guys, coming up in just a bit.
All right, Danielle, we will see you then. Thank you. Well, today marks 1 year since the murder of MIT police officer Shawn Collier.
Marathon bombing suspects are accused of killing him as he sat in his cruiser protecting the campus. WBZ's Bree Season is live in Cambridge this noon with a tribute held in his memory.
Kate, the program lasted about an hour and featured administrators of MIT, police officers, as well as friends of Shawn's. But perhaps one of the most touching moments was when they discussed the permanent memorial that will be built in Shawn's honor. A solemn ceremony attended by hundreds, marking the one-year anniversary of MIT police officer Shawn Collier's murder.
The injustice of losing someone so good still hurts.
The day not only commemorates the loss, but also of all Shawn left behind.
Although it came at an awful price, I now know that heroes still walk on God's earth.
On a campus known for unique sculptures, there will soon be one more place of remembrance and reflection, a permanent memorial remaking the space where he was killed.
Honor his service and remind us of our values. Openness in the face of threat, unity through diversity, and strength through community.
The Institute set up a memorial fund in Shawn's name to ensure the cop that made friends with the people he policed will continue to have an impact on their community.
A community that will always roll down the window when asked for help.
On Marathon Monday, 60 runners will be on the course raising money in Shawn's name. They're called Team Collier Strong and Team MIT Strong. In Cambridge, Bree Season, WBZ News. David and Kate, back to you.
A couple more great teams to root for on Marathon Monday. Thank you so much, Bree. And join us on the WBZ News at 5 for a White House exclusive. Our Lisa Hughes, one-on-one with President Obama to get the president's message to the city of Boston ahead of the marathon. Lisa reports live from Washington, D.C. today at 5 o'clock here on WBZ News.
Today, Governor Patrick is giving his nod for the official Boston Strong license plate. He signed a bill approving the plate. It cost $50, and all the proceeds will benefit the One Fund. The BAA Marathon Expo just opened at the Heinz Convention Center here at noon. It is free and open to the public. It's also where marathon runners will pick up their numbers for Monday's race. This year holds a certain significance for the runners.
Runners have taken it up as their cause to get back and get running again, but also to really be a part of this, and whether to raise money or raise awareness. I mean, people are out there, running long miles through the winter just to be back here. It's amazing.
And runners have until 6 p.m. on Sunday to pick up their race numbers.
Well, 800 National Guard troops will help keep the marathon safe this year. The Massachusetts National Guard is joining soldiers and airmen from 20 other states to help secure the event. They can also provide medical support if needed. And of course, WBZ is so proud to be your marathon station. From start to finish, you'll get all the coverage of the 118th Boston Marathon right here.
Looking to make an arrest in the ferry disaster.
Coming up, the search for survivors and where officials say the captain was when his ship ran into trouble.
A disaster on Mount Everest, an avalanche sweeping through a staging area for climbers.
And Kennedy from Carson and Kennedy makes good on a promise, the radio personality's new hairdo, and why it's all for a great cause.
I'm Jennifer Kaufman, and I'm from Quincy, Massachusetts, and we're here representing the Lupus Foundation. I was actually 20 feet away from the explosions when they went off, and I've sustained physical injuries as a result. We are inspired to help make a difference for the first responder, Jimmy Plord, and his family, Kate, who is suffering from lupus. Crossing the finish line is going to be critically important to show the world that we can rise above this horrific event and that we are Boston Strong.
Follow every runner's story on Marathon Monday, only on WBZ-TV.
Right now, we're about 4.5 blocks from where I'm going to be at the finish line. That glorious 385-yard stretch everybody dreams about. I'll be on the photo bridge right over the finish line. I'll admit it. That morning I'm really nervous. I really want to do a good job. It's like being part of an incredible, historic event that I think this year, in part, really defines who we are. It's one of the greatest days of my life. It feels like we've waited a long time to get this race back, and I can't wait until we have it.
Toyota is #1 in value, but it gets better because we give you all new stylish Toyotas. Better yet, we give you great deals with the Toyota Toyota Gifts of Spring Savings Event. Receive a lowest lease on an all-wheel drive Venza for just $178 a month with no cost maintenance included. Or get an all-wheel drive Venza with 0 for $60. Hurry, Gifts of Spring will be wrapped up soon. Toyota, let's go places.
We wanted to get more out of retirement.
That's why we chose an Erickson living community.
Here, I can keep up with my family instead of keeping up with a house.
I can focus on what's important
instead of focusing on the what-ifs.
I can try new things.
Instead of trying to do everything on my own,
we can finally relax and enjoy today.
Bring your retirement plans to life at Linden Ponds. Call for your free brochure. Closed captioning is brought to you by Luna.
Buy 2 rooms of flooring with installation and get product for the rest of your home for $99.
877-241 Luna.
This portion of WBZ News is brought to you by BMW of Peabody.
Happening today, a second man now charged with murdering a Waltham High School student will face a judge. 22-year-old Domingo Mendez turned himself into police last night. They've been looking him for about a month. 17-year-old Tyler Zanko was killed in what police think was a revenge for a drug deal gone bad. 21-year-old Taylor Poulin also faces lesser charges. And 12 guides are now confirmed dead in an avalanche on Mount Everest, and 3 more people are missing. Officials are calling it the worst disaster on that mountain. It happened just below the Camp 2 staging area, where hundreds of climbers are waiting out better weather.
Right now, police in South Korea are now seeking an arrest warrant for the captain of a sunken ferry ship and 2 crew members. Cranes are now up at the site trying to bring up that ship. Investigators say the boat took a sharp turn and then started taking on water. Police want to know if the captain should have called an evacuation sooner. 270 people, mostly high school students, are still believed to be in that ferry. The school's vice principal, who was rescued off the boat, was later found hanging from a tree. A standoff in Ukraine. Pro-Russian insurgents say they won't leave the eastern Ukraine government building until the government in Kiev resigns. As the Jewish community marked Passover, masked men handed out flyers in front of a Ukraine synagogue asking Jews to register with the government. The U.S. is condemning those acts. Sharing even more on Facebook.
And pretty soon we'll be able to show exactly where you are, but is that too much information even for a social networking site?
And you know that Marathon Monday can have extreme weather. In the 60s, we had snow squalls, heavy rain in 2007, and extreme heat as well. How's this year shaping up, and what about the rest of your holiday weekend? I'll have all the details for you coming up. Your forecast is next.
CBS Tonight.
I am a New York City cop who was asked to be the commissioner.
Justice runs in the family.
We'll do everything we can to find out who did this.
I can't be seen as a victim.
Won't be alone.
You killed a cop!
And my job, you need to prove it.
Being the top cop comes with a lot of sacrifices. See why millions of viewers spend Friday night with the Reagans.
I'm thankful for 4 generations of this family, safe and sound.
Blue Bloods, CBS Tonight, 10/9 Central.
My Son the Waiter, a Jewish tragedy starring Brad Zimmerman.
You have to know things. I know 2 things about wine. We have it or we don't.
The Sun Sentinel called it hilarious.
I'm a hard audience, and I didn't stop laughing.
I made more money at my bar mitzvah than I did last year.
My Son the Waiter, a Jewish tragedy at the Regent Theater. For tickets, call 781-646-4849.
We wanted to get more out of retirement.
That's why we chose an Erickson living community.
Here, I can keep up with my family instead of keeping up with a house.
We can have dinner in style.
Instead of having to do the dishes.
I could sit down with a good book instead of sitting down with a stack of bills.
I can maintain my health.
Instead of maintaining the yard.
I can spend time enjoying my beautiful home instead of spending time on home repairs.
I can focus on what's important
instead of focusing on the what-ifs. I can try new things instead of trying to do everything on my own.
We can finally relax and enjoy today.
Bring your retirement plans to life at Linden Ponds on the South Shore. We offer a wide variety of apartment homes to fit your style and budget. Learn more. Call for your free brochure today.
Some are novices, some are triathletes, some ride for their family and friends, and some ride for themselves, but they all ride for a cause. Be a part of the fight against cancer at the 35th Pan Mass Challenge. 12 routes through 46 towns across Massachusetts. Join us in the effort to raise $40 million for research and patient care at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. The Pan Mass Challenge, August 2nd and 3rd. For more information, go to cbsboston.com/PMC.
This portion of WBZ News is brought to you by Salem 5 Bank.
A major security breach to tell you about at a very popular craft store, Michael's Arts and Crafts, now says more than 2.5 million debit and credit cards used at its stores may have been compromised during a breach that went undetected for 8 months. Michael's first announced the breach in January, but until now we didn't know the extent. Since January, the company says the malware responsible for this has been removed. And if you already think that Facebook's guilty of oversharing, then you may not like this. Facebook is rolling out a new feature that will use your phone's GPS to tell your friends where you are within a half a mile. The so-called Nearby Friends feature will pinpoint your location on a map. Facebook says you won't be opted in automatically. You basically have to go to your settings and turn the service on.
Prince William and Kate visited children at a hospice in Australia today. Kate is involved with hospices in the UK. She met with patients and parents in the playroom. She also joined in on a music therapy session. Afterwards, the Duke and Duchess hit the beach and watched a surf life-saving demonstration. Tomorrow, they head to Queensland to meet with the Royal Australian Air Force.
Well, of course, today is Good Friday, and we have some live pictures right now out of the Vatican of the Pope. Actually, it's not the Pope yet, but it's a Mass at the Vatican. The Pope, we do know, will perform a service in the Vatican, marking Good Friday, of course. This was from yesterday. The Pope washing the feet of 12 disabled and elderly people. And the ritual is designed to mirror what Christians believe happened at the Last Supper when Jesus washed the feet of the apostles. Pope Francis has broken with his predecessors by making women and non-Christians part of his ritual as well.
Well, it's a holiday weekend here, obviously, with Easter. A lot of people going to go outside for the egg rolls and the Easter egg hunts, and it's been a little cold to be doing that lately.
It's worse than time, I think, for the weekend, right? And of course, Danielle, we're all worried about the weather on Monday as well for the marathon.
Lots going on, David and Kate. Good afternoon to you. And yes, you may be looking outside today and kind of feeling the chill in the air and thinking, oh, I hope it doesn't last for the weekend. And it looks like the whole holiday weekend is shaping up pretty nicely. So we'll get to that. Right now, it's only 41 though in Boston, 37 in Worcester. Low to mid 40s with gray skies. We've had clouds that have trickled in off the ocean with that wind off the water, and some higher thin clouds coming in from the west as well. You zoom out the view and there are a couple of showers back to our west. This is actually a cold front that is going to gradually work in our direction. There's not a whole lot of moisture with it, but we may get a stray sprinkle here as we head into very early tomorrow morning before the skies clear. In fact, tonight the skies will be variable. There may be a touch of drizzle, and then as we head into tomorrow morning, a stray sprinkle, but then quick clearing behind that front. So tomorrow turns into a beautiful day, mostly sunny, and temperatures with an onshore wind will be up around 60 degrees, even at the coastline. Sunday, that high pressure cell builds right over us, so it's a light wind that will turn on shore as a sea breeze and keep the coastline cooler with a blend of sun and clouds. And on Marathon Monday, we start to get a southwest wind, so away from the shore will be in the mid-60s, so actually above where we should be for this time of the year. If that sea breeze kicks in right at the coastline, we'll be a little bit cooler at the finish line. We'll talk more about that in a second. Variable clouds tonight, a sprinkle late is possible. 35 in the suburbs, probably drop back to around 39 downtown Boston with a light southwest wind. High temperatures tomorrow, around 60 degrees in Boston. Look at this, lower 60s, actually a little bit above where we should be. And most communities will end up either side of 60 degrees. The wind will be active, though, from the northwest, gusting at times to 30 miles per hour tomorrow. What about Easter Sunday? You have plans, sun and clouds, a little bit cooler than it will be tomorrow, 54 to 58. And I do think at the coastline, we'll probably be right around 50 degrees with that onshore wind. Sunrise for sunrise services, 5:55 a.m. And here's a look at the map for Easter Sunday. Notice a little bit cooler on the Cape, 45 to 50. Same for the coastline of eastern Massachusetts. But you get away from that ocean influence, we'll manage to come up to seasonable levels, mid to upper 50s on Sunday with sun and a few clouds. Now the marathon forecast, 30s and then rising through the 40s during the morning hours. As you're running along the route here, we will come into the 50s. You get away from that sea breeze. We're talking about mid-60s from the Wellesley to Newton stretch with a southwest wind, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We turn on shores at sea breeze Boston, probably about 55 to 60 degrees as we head towards the finish line. AccuWeather 7-day forecast looking good through the holiday weekend. Some showers arrive late on Tuesday. Looks like a bit of a damp day on Wednesday and then breezy mid-50s for Thursday of next week.
All right, Danielle, thank you. On the Health Watch this noon, a warning for women. The government is advising doctors to stop performing a common procedure to remove non-cancerous growth from the uterus. The FDA says the procedure can actually spread cancer to other parts of the body. It's commonly used to treat painful fibroids. According to the Boston Globe this morning, MGH and Brigham and Women's have suspended the procedure. And here's another reason to hit the gym. A new study says exercise can make you look younger. Researchers in Ontario found that regular workouts can reverse signs of skin aging and make you look up to 40 years younger. Although the study's authors admit more research is needed.
40 years younger. That makes you minus 10.
Exactly. Minus 15.
Minus 15. Today on Tony and Steph's table, a simple pasta dish that is just perfect for marathon weekend.
We're going to make a really fun pasta dish. Chorizo, orecchietta, and chickpeas.
I love that. You know, chorizo and chickpeas, you don't see together too much. It's a little bit of a fusion, kind of Italian, a little Spanish influence there. And orecchietta pasta is so much fun.
Oh, it's the ear. That pasta cooks up so beautifully. Yeah. And when you combine it with these three ingredients, just a little bit more we're going to put in there to give a little more spice and flavor, you're going to love it. So we got going here so far,
It's got a great spice to it. We started off, we just heated up the chorizo, and then we added some tomato paste, chicken broth, the extra virgin olive oil, and the chickpeas. And then that, you know, we let it reduce a little bit. We added in the pasta. I just put in a smidge of pasta water. And that's making a beautiful broth, as you can see in here.
It really is, and the flavors combined together. Look how beautiful that looks.
Yeah,
now we're going to add a little bit of parsley for color and flavor. Is that enough? A little bit more?
I think that's great.
Okay, perfect. Then we're going to add a little bit of red pepper flakes.
Yeah, there's a lot of rich flavors in here, so the parsley definitely will freshen this up.
A little bit of salt, just a little bit of salt, because chorizo has salt in it. And what was I going to look for? The pepper. I already put the pepper in there.
You did?
Yes, I did, and I think we're ready to go.
We are too.
Look at the
beautiful pepper.
Really is. Hearty, delicious, and loaded with flavors. Look at that, Steph.
There's so much flavor.
Beautiful. Thank you, Bella. Time to eat.
And you can see more from Tony every day, getting his fresh grocer tips Monday through Friday on WBZ News at noon.
Cutting it off for kids.
Coming up, radio host Kennedy goes under the Clippers on her road to the marathon.
Tony Tantillo, brought to you by Colavita, America's #1 selling Italian extra virgin olive oil.
President Obama's message to Boston before this year's marathon. WBZ's Lisa Hughes live in Washington for a one-on-one interview. Today starting at 5 on WBZ News.
I'm running for Boston Children's Hospital with the Miles for Miracles team.
For Ron Burton Training Village. To help local families touched by tragedy. I'm running to help give college scholarships to kids. To provide health care for the homeless. And on Marathon Monday, we're all running together.
WBZ-TV is proud to support everyone from the CBS Boston family, running to make a difference here in our community. To all who run for a cause, here's to a great race.
With growing numbers of aging adults choosing independent living, technology is evolving to help seniors maintain their freedom and safety. Accidental falls are one of the leading causes of injury for the elderly, but with innovations in assistive technology, a fall can now be more quickly detected. Quicker detection can result in faster response times, thus leading to a quicker recovery and better outcomes.
Sponsored by Philips Lifeline, America's #1 medical alert service. Now with advanced fall detection technology built right into the button. Reed's Ferry Shed's 10% off sale ends this Saturday. Every Reed's Ferry Shed is 10% off list price now through 5 o'clock this Saturday. See 5 acres of sheds on display in Reed's Ferry. Get better quality than the box store and save 10% on the shed price. Go online to reedsferry.com, but get a move on. The spring sale ends this Saturday, 5 o'clock.
Call 888-85-SHEDS.
10% off a Reed's Ferry Shed. You got a good one.
Toyota is #1 in value, but it gets better. Because we give you all new stylish Toyotas. Better yet, we give you great deals with the Toyota Gifts of Spring Savings Event. Receive the lowest ever lease on Camry, the most dependable midsize car, for only $158 a month with no cost maintenance included. Or get best ever 0 for 60 plus $750 bonus cash on Camry. Hurry, Gifts of Spring will be wrapped up soon. Toyota, let's go places.
Even the toughest spills are no match for the ultimate vehicle protection. Custom fit WeatherTech floor liners. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech, proudly made in America.
Nothing's as exciting as football, except a free colonoscopy. Enter the CBS Cares Colonoscopy Sweepstakes. You could be your winner.
The most trusted name in mattresses. Sleepy's, the mattress professionals.
There's a new type of fitness class that could have you hanging 10 coming up today at 5 o'clock. All the moves are on a surfboard. Instead of surfing in the water, you're on a gym floor. Details on this new craze today coming up at 5 o'clock. Well, Kennedy from our sister radio station Mix 104.1 made some pretty big stakes for herself. She's running the Boston Marathon.
Yet she promised that she would buzz her hair into a mohawk if she raised $10,410 for Boston's Children's Hospital. Well, the listeners came up with the money, so off it came today. Clippers and scissors. Well, she actually looked pretty good at the end, and she did it for a great cause.
That's you with the clippers in your hand.
Yeah, I was there. I actually had the opportunity. You see Carson on the left. He's got no hair left.
Yes.
And Salt has the mohawk as well. They're all the co-hosts. And they said if I pledged some money, I could do something. So I cut Salt's hair into a mohawk.
Wow. That's their first mistake. Putting clippers in your hand and saying, okay, go ahead.
You ladies watch. I can do yours as well.
I'm good, thanks.
I'm gonna pass.
I'm good. We're good.
So she can run.
Totally did.
Good luck to her on Monday, by the way. She raised, I think, about $18,000 for Children's
That's
Hospital.
unbelievable. That is amazing. And good luck to all the runners. The weather couldn't be better. It's going to be fantastic. 50s at the finish line, but 60s inland, and a good-looking holiday weekend, too.
Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Our next newscast is today at 5 o'clock.
I have the clippers out back.
No, I'm good. I'm good, really.
We'll buzz you.
3 days until the Boston Marathon, here on WBZ.